Hi everyone, so today's video is another video explaining how to do a simple stitch. So this stitch is the half double crochet if you use US terms, or it is the half treble crochet if you use UK terms. Now, for all those that are new to crochet, as I explained in the last video, these stitches are exactly the same. There is no difference between them at all. It is just a case of there are two different ways of writing the terms down, I guess, or saying the terms. The US have their own version, the UK have their own version. The stitches are exactly the same, they've just got different names. You will find that most patterns are more commonly used with the US terms. I don't know why this is. As a British person, I do more commonly use the US terms myself. But when I write patterns myself, I do try to provide both the UK and the US terms because obviously people learn in different ways. And that's exactly why I have included both in this video, so people know the difference between the two. And there is no difference between the two. It's all in a name. That's all it is. So, me yabbering on, as per usual. Here in front of you, you have a piece of work that I have worked up using the stitch that you're about to learn. So you will see, and I explained this with my last video as well, I have used quite a thick yarn. I've also used a 7mm hook, which is quite a wide hook as well. And that is why, when looking at that piece of work there, you can see that there are lots and lots of holes and gaps between it. And I have used that and done it that way purely so you can see how the stitch works up. This isn't necessarily how your finished item would look with the yarn and the hook that you choose. This is just, I've done it large so it's easier to view. And I'll show you an example. This is a cardigan that I've made recently. It is a different stitch. But just as an example, you can see there are much less holes in that one because I've used a smaller yarn and a smaller hook. Anyway, let's stop confusing you. We'll just get back on with this, shall we? So, the half double crochet or the half treble crochet, whichever one you choose to call it, this is the front of my piece. And if I turn over and show you the back of my piece, you will see that they pretty much look exactly the same. Now, this is quite unusual with crochet. Often the back looks completely different and it is very easy to identify between the two. With the half double / half treble crochet, whichever you want to call it, it doesn't often look different. The only difference is, can you see, there's a line and a line along here, and they will vary at which points you get them, on the front, the lines down here. So it kind of just raises the pattern up slightly, but that is literally the only difference between them. So I guess I should show you how to do the stitch. I'm just going to put my hook in through that one. So the difference between this one and the stitch that I showed you in the last video, which was the single crochet in US terms or the double crochet in UK terms, is that we kind of have two V's with this stitch. And it makes it sort of difficult to identify where your hook needs to go through to start the stitch. I don't know if you remember me telling you in the last video, but we insert our hook so we end up with that V. Now, the way that I've just done that is completely wrong because we don't want that V. If you turn your work and look at it head on, you will see there is also V's on top. Now it is these V's that we want to use for our stitch, and not the ones that are facing us at the front. So we do this one different to the stitch that we did in the last video. We're not going straight in through. So for the half double crochet or the half treble crochet, whichever you call it, to begin with, we want to yarn over. So we're holding the yarn in our left hand and we will put it over our hook from the back to the front. We then want, you can see the absolutely huge gap, and it makes it really clear where we need to go, which is great for this stitch. We want to put our hook through that stitch. So we're going into this one. And you will see when I do that, if I turn it so you can see the top, you can see that I have picked up that V on my hook. But then I've also got 2 loops already on my hook. I've got the original loop, I've got the loop here where we yarned over, and then I've got the 2 V's of the stitch. Once we put our hook through, we're yarning over again. So we're creating that 5th loop on our hook. We then want to pull that one through. And once we've pulled it through, we've ended up with 3 loops on our hook. From here, we need to yarn over again. And then we end up with 4 loops on our hook. That loop, we're going to just pull straight through all 3 of those loops. So we're pulling straight through, and that is how a half double or half treble crochet is formed. I'll show you again. So you yarn over, we're going into that gap there just beside my left thumbnail. Make sure you've got the V on the top of your hook, and then yarn over and pull through a loop, and you'll end up with 3 loops on your hook. You then want to yarn over, and we're then pulling through all 3 loops. So there's your second stitch formed. So yarn over into your next stitch. You've got your V, yarn over and pull through 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over into your next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Yarn over into your next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over into your next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. Yarn over into your next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. And then I've got one more. Yarn over into your next stitch, make sure you've got that V on top, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3. So we've just created 1 row of our half double or half treble crochet. But what if we wanted to turn the work and work into the back? At the end of the row here, you would chain 2. So 1 and 2. And the reason we are chaining 2 is because that is the same height as your stitch, and it makes sure that we're starting the next stitch at the right height. So I'm now going to turn my work over, and you can see that it pretty much looks exactly the same as what we were just doing. So now if we were to continue along with the same stitch, we would then yarn over, and our first one that we go into would be this one just here. We wouldn't go into any of these 2 chains that we've just done. It would be this one just here. So we're going in, pulling up a loop, yarning over and pulling through all 3. yarn over and in through our stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. And that is how a US half double crochet or a UK half treble crochet, I messed that up, didn't I, is formed. So once you get a bit quicker, this is how it will look once you've finished a row into my last stitch. There we go. Turning over to the front of my piece. And there you go. Now you have learned how to do a US half double crochet or a UK half treble crochet, and you'll be able to use that in all of your future projects. It's quite a simple stitch to do. I hope you've managed to follow along okay. If you do have any questions, please put them in the comments below, and as always, I promise to respond to every single comment. Thank you for watching the video. If you have liked it and you find it useful, please do leave a like. And even if you want to leave a comment just saying hello or letting me know which part of the world you're from, I really do enjoy reading your comments, so it'd be lovely to hear from you. And if you want a notification for the next video, be sure to hit subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one. I shall see you then.